Hello children, it's Mrs. Lee here. It's assembly number 3 and it's the week beginning the 18th of October 2023. How are you? I hope that you are okay. Me, thanks for asking, I'm okay too. Right, our assembly number 3 is all about Yom Kippur, International Peace Day and Recycling Week. Now, that's a lot to get through, isn't it? But all these things are happening this week. We talked about the Jewish religion last week, about Rosh Hashanah, so I'll quickly tell you about Yom Kippur in a moment. International Peace Day is happening this week. It might be something that you might want to think about in your classrooms. And then Recycling Week, well, that's the one I'm going to focus on, because if you know Mrs. Lee, you know Mrs. Lee likes to recycle. Oh my gosh, look, we've already got all the stuff here. However, we need to do our routine. Come with me. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Well, I can see the long hand, which is called the minute hand, is on the 6. And I know that that means, that's right, past. I can also see the short hand, the hour hand, is pointing in between the 9 and the 10. I put that all together and that says, you're right, 9:30. Gosh, I've got all of this rubbish here. I don't know if you can see, but our language of the month is still Makaton, because we're still in the month of September and Mrs. Turner isn't ready to change it yet. I wonder what it will be soon, because we're nearly at the end of September, but what has changed is our Makaton sign of the week. Are you ready? And Mrs. Lee was like a perseverance parrot and she looked everywhere for the symbol for this word. Can you say this word? Recycle. And I could not find it anywhere, children. I looked and looked and looked. So in the end, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to draw one myself. So I don't know if you can see, but these are your arms and you're going to make a circular movement. Just a little bit like the symbol for recycling. So have a little look at that. You ready? Let's have a go. So your hands are like this, and you're just recycling. You're just recycling. Okay? Just recycling. Can you sign recycle? Brilliant. Now Mrs. Lee's assembly is all about that, and I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to show you a picture. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Gosh, did you see all of the books? Now, all those books are all about how we can save the earth, our planet, the world in which we live. And recycling is one of the ways that you can help to make the world a better place. Mrs. Lee, what is recycling? Right, are you ready? Show me your good listening ears. This is a really good book that I've got here. And when you come to eat your lunch, oh, I've got an itch. When you come to eat your lunch, come and have a little look at this book. It tells you all about recycling. All right? It tells you why it's good to recycle. So if you can see, help to save animals in the water, the trees that we have nearby. If you've been to Hinchinbrook Park, it tells you about things that we shouldn't be leaving on the ground, how to get to places without using your car, saving energy. I don't know if you know this person. Her name is Greta. She's made it her life ambition to try to sort out the world to make it a better place. And you might have seen these boxes around, and we've got them in school, haven't we? Recycling boxes and how to use them properly. Wow. What happens to our rubbish? And we make rubbish every day. Well, some of the rubbish goes to a landfill site and some of it gets recycled. Now, you can't recycle everything, children, and in a minute I'm going to ask you to help me. So recycling is when, these are nice words, we reuse something. It helps us to reduce the amount of waste. So, let's have a little scenario. Imagine you're at Tesco's or Sainsbury's or Morrison's or Lidl, somewhere with your grown-up and you've been shopping, okay? and uh-oh, you've forgotten to take your bags. Now, I think nearly every grown-up I know takes their own bags when they go shopping. But we get forgetful, we make mistakes, don't we? And you've forgotten to take your carrier bags, and you need to bring all the shopping back. So you can, in some shops, still get plastic bags, and they might cost you 10p, 30p, all right, but they're made out of something called plastic. Now, plastic is great for lots and lots of things, but it also doesn't help the world if you just don't reuse it, if you just throw it away. If you leave this in a landfill site, it will stay there for a long, 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 long time. In fact, it could blow away and it could go into those lovely forests where we walk, and an animal could get caught up in it. That would be very sad, wouldn't it? So, you're at the supermarket, you've got all your shopping bags in the back. What are you going to do with your plastic carrier bags afterwards? Maybe you reuse your plastic carrier bags to bring something to school. I don't know. Maybe your waterproof suit that you're going to use in forest school, if you've got your own one, and you could hang that on your peg. So we could reuse the bags that way. What about if you've got a drinking can? So you've had a can of Coke or something. What could you do with that? Would you just throw it away? Or would you recycle it? Well, we're hoping that you're going to recycle, because lots of things can be recycled, especially if they are made out of paper or plastic or glass or metal. And then what happens, they go to the recycling unit and they are broken down into tiny, tiny small parts, and then new things are made from that. In fact, this jacket that I've got on, believe it or not, has been made from plastic bottles. That's right, okay? It's been recycled from plastic bottles, okay? Lots of things can be recycled. So, here we go. We've got some things and we're going to see if we can recycle them, all right? So, on this book, you can have a little look at these things. We've got a nappy, plastic bag, some aerosol cans, tin foil, wine bottles, and some cans. And you need to think, when you're sitting in the queue waiting for lunch, which one would you recycle? Yes, which one would you not be able to recycle? Here we go. I've got a few things too. So, I've got my bin here, all right, which I'm going to just put down here. And I've got my recycling bin here. And here, I've got some rubbish. Okay, plastic bag, recycle or put in the bin? You know this, recycle it. Okay, here we go. Here's a trickier one. You've got a bean can. You've had your beans, you've been eating your beans, you've washed out the can to get rid of all the bean juice. What could you do with that? Would you put that down in the bin or would you recycle it? That's right, you would recycle it. Okay. Woo, whiffy woo, it's a nappy. Ooh. We know that our younger brothers and sisters use these. In fact, we've all used them, haven't we, when we were little. Okay, this one is clean, actually. But imagine, it wasn't clean. Well, it's made out of something like paper or something. Can I recycle that? Nobody wants human waste. In fact, what we should do really with this one is put it in a special nappy sack. I'm going to put it in the bin anyway, just pretending, because this one is clean, but in real life they're usually dirty. Right, in they go. Okay. Oh, I was very hungry earlier on and I was eating my bagel and I got to this bit, I couldn't eat anymore because I was really full. Shall I recycle or put it in the bin? That's right, can't recycle that. I'll put it in the bin. Okay, what about one of these? Now, this is a paper towel. When I went to the toilet earlier on, I used this to dry my hands after I'd washed them with soap for 20 seconds. It's paper. Mrs. Lee, you told me it was made, paper could be recycled. But it's a bit like the nappy, isn't it? It's dirty. So we don't put these in our green bin. They go in the dirty bin. Right, anything else? Oh, yes, I was eating an apple. A long time ago, actually, I was eating this apple. It's gone a little bit mouldy now. All right, I didn't finish it all, so recycle it, let somebody else eat it. No, put that in the dirty bin. You've got it. All right. If you are in doubt and you've drinking your drink, and you think, what should I do with this can? Ask a grown-up and they will tell you whether you can recycle it or put it in the bin. Lovely. Now, you saw my display with all those different books, and you might be thinking, Mrs. Lee, why have all the books got little tags in them? Because in every one of these books, where the tags are, it gives you ideas on what you can do to help the world be a better place. So, things that you can do, really, really interesting, how you can help. So in this book, it's showing how you can use things that are made of plastic that you might already own to help to do something else. So you're using a water bottle here to try and make a little greenhouse for this plant to grow better. You could use a bottle then to make a shaker, so you've got a music shaker, or maybe you could use it to store your pens in, or maybe use it to put paint in when you're painting. All right, so really lovely ideas in that book. Lovely, lovely book. So that one's called A Planet Full of Plastic. But like we know, we don't have to just recycle plastic, we can recycle lots of other stuff. It's a really, really lovely story you might want to read while you're eating your lunch, all about a polar bear who gets a bit lost. It's quite a sad story to start off with. But right at the back, it tells you ideas of how you can save the planet. Turn off lights, recycle plastic, metal, glass, turn off the tap when you're brushing your teeth. Gosh, love this book. We've read this book before in our story, in our assemblies before. And right at the back, where the little green sticker is, it tells you what you can do to help. Plant flowers. Ooh, that's lovely, isn't it? And one of my favourites is this book, because this book was written by an 8-year-old boy. All right, so this is not a grown-up book. This is a children's book written by a boy called Frankie. There is Frankie. And again, at the back of it, once you've read the story, there's some really lovely ideas that you can do to help. And this one is using a plastic bottle to make a bee hotel. How exciting. Rather than going to the shop and buying a plastic bag, you could make one out of a t-shirt. How cool is that? Wow! Oh gosh, if we use our imagination, we can think of lots of different ideas. Lovely, lovely book to read as well. So if you're eating your lunch, come have a look at these books, find the tags, and they'll give you some ideas. Okay, we're nearly finished. Remember, I did say that our assembly this week was also going to think about Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is one day in a Jewish year where the Jewish people have a day where they do not work, they do not eat, and they do not drink. Some other religions have days like that, or a period of time where they don't eat. And the Jewish people go to a place called the synagogue, all right? And that's their place of worship, and they listen to readings, stories from the Torah, and that's their special book, okay? But it's also a time when they think about all the things that they have done, and they think about new beginnings. They think about getting better at something, all right? And then right at the end of the service, they blow this huge ram's horn, okay? And that is a sound to say that the service at the synagogue is sunset and we're ending. Oh, how lovely. What I really love, though, is that idea of new beginnings. You can start afresh, all right? So if you've never recycled before, you can start now. And if your grown-up has never thought about using something different to plastic bags, you can tell them they can start now, all right? That's the beauty of new beginnings changing over, isn't it? Okay. Right, lots of information there, children, to take in. So I'm going to leave all the books on my display, so when you come to eat your lunch, you can look at them. Please look after them so that other people can use them. You know, our golden rules are, that's right, we are gentle, but we also look after property. If, however, something does happen to the book, can you please come and talk to me and be honest, and then we can fix it, so that other people can use the book. We can fix it before it becomes something awful. Anyway, children, I'm going to finish there. We're going to finish with our school prayer. Are you ready? Remember, we can put our hands together. We can close eyes. But the thing that we must all do is say the words. I'm going to close my eyes this time. Help me to do the things I should, to be to others kind and good, in all my work and all my play, to grow more loving every day. Amen. Right, I'm getting a little bit hot. I'm going to take off my jacket that's made out of plastic bottles. I've got my name in it, so if I put it to one side, I know I can find it later. That's something you all need to do. Make sure your clothes have got your name in them. And I will see you about. Take care. Have a lovely week. Bye.